Hello everybody, my name is QueenE. Welcome to another video. Today you can't see my face, but I'm here nonetheless. Basically, I wanted to talk a little bit about how Blizzard has finally decided to drop the SMS Protect, well, at least to some extent. The Overwatch 2 has not had the smoothest of launches, I think we can all agree. But we finally got a bit of a status update. It was posted one day ago by Jody, the community manager. She says the following: "Hello heroes, yesterday was an exciting day for the Overwatch team, a day that we know you have been looking forward to for a long time. While millions of people have been enjoying the game, the launch has not met your or our expectations. First, we want to apologize to our players. We expected the launch of Overwatch 2 to go smoothly. We hold ourselves to a higher standard and we are working hard to resolve the issues you are experiencing. We want to provide transparency on the issues, fixes we have made so far, and give you all insight as to how we're moving forward. We're keeping a list of known issues here, but here we'll take a deep dive into the top issues. So you can't actually access like the list of full known issues if you go into the post. I'll link that down below for you. The first top issue that Jody is listing is the SMS Protect. I think it's no surprise that a lot of people has been quite frustrated, and rightfully so, that they no longer can play Overwatch, even though they might have been players for years. This was especially affecting people, for example, with children. Let's say you have 3 kids and you're 2 parents and you only have 2 phone numbers. What are you going to do? Not let one of your kids play? Not let you guys play? What is the solution there? It's a tough situation. So I'm glad to see that they are in fact changing the SMS Protect system, and let's read exactly what they say. They say, "We designed Overwatch 2 to be a live service, which enables us to be responsive to a variety of player feedback. We have made the decision to remove phone number requirements for a majority of existing Overwatch players. Any Overwatch player with a connected Battle.net account, which includes all players who have played since June 9th, 2021, will not have to provide a phone number to play. We're working to make this change and expect it to go live on Friday, October 7th. We will update players once it's in effect." So that should literally be in right now. So if you were an Overwatch player from before June 9th, 2021, you no longer need a phone number. So if you thought that you couldn't play Overwatch 2 because of that, but you're an old school player, fret not, you can now actually play. Well, assuming the server issues are fixed too. "We remain committed to combating disruptive behavior in Overwatch 2. Accounts that were not connected to Battle.net, as well as new accounts, will still have to meet SMS Protect requirements, which helps to ensure we're protecting our community against cheating. If a player is caught engaging in disruptive behavior, their account may be banned whether they have a new account or not. As a team, we will keep listening to ongoing feedback and will make further adjustments in this area if it is required." Cool. I mean, overall, I think that's pretty solid. I mean, I'm glad that old school players will get the chance to actually enjoy Overwatch 2 without being locked out based on their phone numbers. So there we go. And I do think it's fair. I mean, I think we're all aware that smurfing, cheating, etc. is a massive issue, especially in free-to-play games. So I think it's fair that new accounts do need the SMS Protect, whereas, you know, the old schoolers are kind of exempt a little bit, unless you do something dumb and get yourself banned. So, you know, don't do that. Next up, they're touching on the queue issues, server crashes, and stability. The TLDR is, "We have addressed some issues and are in the process of addressing others, but players should still expect to see queues." And I think that's understandable. There's a lot of us that wants to get in and play. So yeah, I mean, that's par for the course with launches these days, isn't it? Login queues, server crashes, and stability problems are intertwined, so we'll talk about them together. Players may have been seeing their queue numbers jumping around, going from a small number to a larger number. This is due to there being 2 queues for players, one through Battle.net and one through the game itself. This process is usually invisible to players, but was being seen in real time. We've made changes to simplify the queuing process, so players should now only be experienced the 1 queue before entering the game. There are several areas where we're working to improve stability. Today, we've patched a server that is critical to the login experience, and this change has increased login reliability. Beyond queues, we're in process with another server update that will reduce the occurrences of players being disconnected once they're already in-game. Finally, the player database is being overloaded, which cascades and causes a backup in the logging system, which eventually leads to some people being dropped out of queues or being unable to log in at all. We're continuing to add nodes to ease the pressure on the player database. The process of adding nodes requires smooth replication of data, which inherently adds pressure to an already stressed system. So we're doing it slowly to not cause any further disruption as devs and engineers work through separate issues. We're also currently throttling queues in order to protect the player database as much as we can while we scale. This feels bad in the short term, but once it's done, will greatly improve the experience for players across multiple fronts moving forward. They're not really saying how long this will take to kind of sort out, so I guess they've been working hard on it and rolling it out continuously since launch. And I do want to say that yesterday when I played, there were fewer disconnects in game. There were still a few, but it was actually drastically decreased, which is a nice thing to see. So hopefully, before the week is over, the server systems will be much more stabilized. So cross your fingers, everybody, for a smooth experience soon TM. There's another thing that's been affecting a lot of players, and that is that when you log in after merging your accounts and stuff, you have nothing. None of the skins you unlocked, no data, no nothing. So they're actually touching on this as well, where they're saying, TLDR, you have not lost any items or progress, though some players are logging in and seeing some/all elements missing from their collection. We've received a number of reports from players that their inventory in-game is partially or totally reset. We've determined that the cause for this discrepancy is approximately half of reported cases is players having not yet completed their account merge. This is understandable. One cause for this is due to a bug with the launch build not providing an account merge prompt on some consoles. We rolled out a partial UI fix earlier today to help some console players progress through the account merge flow. However, we are still working on fixes for additional UI issues. In the other half of reported cases for this issue, things are just taking longer than expected for items from the original Overwatch to transfer and populate in Overwatch 2. In all cases, no player data has been wiped or lost. We have a client-side fix for this that cannot be deployed until next week, so we're exploring server-side fixes and will provide updates as more information becomes available. There was a separate issue with account merge where players who had merged their console and PC accounts were experiencing problems logging in. This bug is now resolved. If you watched any community streamers on launch day, you might have noticed some had more trouble logging in than others. This bug was the primary cause for that. So there you go. So apparently account merging has caused a few issues, to say the least, but we can all rest assured that at least there's been no data that's been lost or wiped or any such thing. It's just a matter of taking a bit more time or potentially completing the account merge process. They have a link to the account merge here in the post as well, so that you can navigate to easily if you think that you might not have merged your accounts properly. But good to see that that's been resolved regarding the login issues at the very least. And then last but not least, they are talking about the incorrectly locked heroes and items for existing players. So for those of you that don't know, if you were an existing player of Overwatch, you were supposed to get all the new heroes, including Kiriko, for free, etc., etc. Whereas the new user experience, have your heroes and stuff locked to kind of introduce you to the game a bit more slowly, because there's a lot of characters to learn. So slowing it down a little bit makes it a little bit more accessible for new players. However, there has been an issue where existing players have had all their stuff locked as if they were a new user. So I'm glad Blizzard is touching on this and providing an update here too. And they are saying this is an issue separate from account merge, but the player experience is the same as the above, where heroes and items that should be unlocked for existing players are appearing as locked. These cases are almost certainly related to our new first-time user experience flow incorrectly being applied to existing players. We have seen relogging into the game resolve this issue in most cases. If you're still experiencing this issue after taking these steps, please check the support website. On the day of launch, these issues were exacerbated by DDoS attacks. While they did not directly cause any of these issues, they made the environment in which we work on these issues more challenging. We have not suffered any further attacks. We are committed to keeping you all informed and will provide more information as it becomes available. Please keep an eye on @PlayOverwatch for additional updates. Thank you, heroes, the Overwatch team. I mean, it's a bit unlucky that some original players kind of got the first-time user experience applied to them. But apparently relogging fixes it in a lot of cases. Too bad relogging is a journey in itself. So I totally understand that not a lot of players might be eager to do that currently until the server issues are fixed. Because basically if you get into the game right now, it's kind of like the Holy Grail and you really don't want to log out unless absolutely necessary. So yeah, while it's not perfect, at least we got an update, guys. Let me know how your first Overwatch 2 experience has been. Mine has actually been really good because I've been extremely lucky. I've only been kicked for the game twice, and I've only had fairly small queues. Now, this could have something to do with me logging in pretty early in the morning when nobody else is playing because I'm a boomer, but I've actually enjoyed myself quite a bit. Call me crazy, but I also played competitive at launch when the server issues was at their worst. We had so many disconnected players in the competitive lobbies. It made for extremely wonky games, and my new skill tier division, or STD, which still is a very unfortunate acronym, is not as high as I would have thought it would be, but hey, it's all about the climb, baby. Anyways, guys, do let me know how your Overwatch 2 launch experience has been. Have you been stuck in queue hell? Have you had smooth sailing? Have you been missing all of your items and all of your heroes? Type it down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much, guys. Bye!